So with the advice from one of the users on the Civic X forum, I rewired my Underglow to have the entry light effect a little bit better way that he suggested. So I'll show you the effect here while it's dark, and then tomorrow while it's light I'll show you how it's wired up. So you come up to the car and hit the unlock button. Unlock. There we go. Underglow comes on. Now, if the dash switch is off, Underglow's still on because the car's not on yet. Turn the car on, the Underglow goes off, but with the dash switch, we can turn it back on, or off, or on as we like. So we shut off the car. Underglow stays on. Come out here and lock it up, and it goes off. Alright, so it's just starting to rain, so I'll make this quick, but I wanted to show you guys the new and better way that this is wired up now, with all the switching done on the ground side, thanks to the idea from 9,000 RPM on the Civic X website. I'll put a link below to his post and the wiring diagram that he provided that I basically went off of. So if this seems confusing, refer back to that, and it's pretty much wired up just like that, but I'll try my best to explain it. So I've got my LED control unit here for my Underglow. Wires go down here to the, and through the car to the light bars. The connectors for the Underglow, the positive is now fused, or it was fused before, but it's now wired directly to the positive battery terminal. And the negative now goes to a ground wire that goes into the passenger compartment. For quickness, I just already had a battery ground here, so I have one other battery ground, direct battery ground, going into the passenger compartment. So yeah, I'm planning on cleaning up all this wiring later and doing, actually soldering and doing all the connections right. But for now, I just wanted to make sure it worked. So to just briefly explain this relay again that I have, you could probably use a non-powered, regular 12-volt automotive relay. But this is what I had, so this is what I'm using. So we have the DC in, so that's a, this powered relay needs a positive 12-volt and a ground. To power it, that's what the green light means. So this one I pulled off of pin 4 in this, focus, 6-pin connector that's under here that I just disconnected from there to get access to the wires. So I tapped into the red wire, which is pin 4. There's actually 2 of them on my vehicle that go into the same pin. So I just spliced into one of those. So I have my 12-volt power to the relay. The ground, this is just the common ground wire that came in from the engine compartment. So I have the ground for the relay there as well as a couple of the pins, the ground pins on the switch. So the trigger, which is this red wire here, that's what, when there's 12 volt to that, which is wired to the accessory fuse. I believe it's number 1 under there. Let's see if we can see which one I have it wired up to. Rather than waste time doing that, I'm pretty sure it's fuse number 1. But anyway, it's the accessory fuse. So that wire comes in here. It goes and it powers the accessory. Sorry for the bad camera work. I suck at this. Powers the accessory power to the dash LED switch, the LED on the switch that's on the dash. So when the car's turned on, this illuminates. That is also spliced to a wire here that provides the trigger, the 12-volt signal. So when I turn on the accessory, this now switches from the normally closed position to the normally open position. So the ground wire that originally I showed came from the negative of the LED controller, comes in here, and that is the common wire in the center here. So what's going to happen is when the ignition's off, this wire, which is the normally closed one on this side, that is wired to the ground for the dome light, which is the purple wire on pin 5 underneath here. I can't show where I spliced it, but I spliced it up there. The purple wire from this 6-pin connector, pin 5. And you can find diagrams for that online as well, as to if you don't know which pins are which. I'll try to provide a link as well. So anyway, accessory goes to the trigger here. So when I turn on the car, it switches it to from normally closed to normally open. So the normally open one now is just a basically a ground wire that goes to the switch here, and then the other one completes the ground when the switch is flipped on back to just the battery ground wire. So essentially when the car's off and the switch is powered, this connection is connected from the LED controller to the normally closed position, which is pin 5 in here, which is what controls the dome light, the ground for the dome light, so that when the dome light is activated, the underglow comes on. Yeah, and that's the effect I was trying to achieve. But I also wanted to achieve having that circuit controllable by this switch when I'm driving, just in case you live in a place where LEDs are frowned upon, underglow is frowned upon, and you need to be able to turn it off, you know, while you're driving, on or off at will. So that's why I have that wired there, so that when you turn on the accessory and this gets a 12-volt signal and it switches, now this is basically on a switch, just connected straight to the ground. So the LED controller, you know, is just the common ground now goes out to the switched ground, and you know, you complete the ground circuit there. So hopefully that's as clear as mud. If you have any questions, you know, certainly let me know. But yeah, it works great. It eliminated the relay buzz that I had going on. You don't have to mess with the A pillar like I did before. The relay doesn't buzz anymore, and even the lights have a fade to off effect now, so it's pretty awesome. Thanks.